Right now, though, we're taking a closer look at the state of mental health and available resources in Idaho. It's part of our Finding Hope series. This week, U.S. Secretary of Veterans Affairs Robert Wilkie made a stop in Boise, and 6 on Your Side was there. Our Madeline White sat down with Wilkie to find out if Idaho could see federal funding to support veteran suicide prevention.
In my exclusive interview with Wilkie, I learned his plans for combating veteran suicide and boosting access to VA health care. Secretary Wilkie leads the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs, a department he says is a centerpiece in President Trump's administration.
I have the largest budget in the history of the department, thanks to the president, $220 billion.
In March, Trump signed an executive order vowing to design a program to propose to Congress aimed at combating veteran suicide, providing grants to local communities like ones in Idaho. As we previously reported, a suicide prevention expert at the Boise VA hopes Idaho gets some of those dollars.
The president's executive order is definitely welcome because I think the state of Idaho can use as much money as possible to put our state plan into action.
According to data from the VA, 10% of Idaho's adult population was made up of veterans in 2017. Yet in that same year,
Idaho had 400 suicides. Veterans accounted for 20% of those.
For vets in rural Idaho, Wilkie says access to mental health care resources is something he's working on.
But what we see here in Idaho is that we need to reach those folks.
He says he plans to continue to promote telehealth.
And that means that we can reach veterans on the computer in areas that are hard to get.
And says he's optimistic when it comes to outreach.
I mean, we already have outreach, but we don't have the kind of outreach that I believe we will have once the president's task force has finished its work.
In the meantime, the Idaho Council on Suicide Prevention waits for good news. What is the likelihood that Idaho could be seeing some?
Well, I think it'll be high, because when we come to the end of this process, my view is that the most important step forward will be to open up the aperture when it comes to getting states like Idaho, but not just state governments, local governments and charities, the resources they need to go out and find those veterans.
Are you or someone you know feeling anxious or alone or having thoughts of suicide? Confidential help is available 24/7. Dial either number on your screen. He said they should be finished assessing needs in March or April of next year, at which point he says they will take those recommendations to Congress. In studio, Madeline White, 6 on Your Side.